Morning, everyone. No milk float action this week. Maybe due to dwindling sales. Who knows? The very spacious Vauxhall Combo van with an excellent phone holding thing for taking videos. So I've recovered from my dentist nightmare, and I've woke up with, to use a Cornish expression, the wind up my furt. I'm rather excited. I think I need to deal with a few of my arch critics who keep coming back, and I've had very little reply to their replies. So let's deal with that a minute. For a start, there's a bloke that keeps saying, I don't know what the definition of carnage is. And I shouldn't be calling it EV carnage because truly, it's not the correct definition. And you shouldn't be doing that. You're a very naughty boy. Tell that to Luton Airport. That looked like carnage to me. Tell it to all the kids dying in mines in the Congo. That's carnage. And tell it to the national grid when everything shuts down and you can't boil an egg because matey next door is charging his Tesla up at home. That's carnage. So I'll stick with carnage, thanks very much. Not only that, it's a beautiful play on words, you see. EV car, Car-Nage. I mean, it clearly shows my lack of education. More of that in a minute. Then there's the misinformation bloke. Anyone that uses the word misinformation, you're gone before you started. Misinformation was a word that was brought up during COVID for anyone that questioned the narrative. If you thought, hang on a minute, misinformation. If you dare to question the government, misinformation. Old bird with red rum's teeth in her mouth out New Zealand, we are your only source of truth. No, what you mean is, if people don't agree with you, that's misinformation. It's not misinformation. It's just people asking questions about the status quo and people not liking the answer. So if you want to use the word misinformation, that's fine. But just to be clear, not once have I fabricated anything in my EV videos. I am mad to. It's not my fault they're shit. So what happens is what happens. It just happens and I film it. And if it doesn't happen, I don't film it. I don't make it up. It's not fucking Top Gear. So if you don't like it, I can't help that. The fact is, the e-tron last week did 160 miles range. That's what it did. And if you go on the e-tron forum, all the other e-tron owners are on there saying, yeah, the first ones only did 160 miles. Yeah, it's true, yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky to get that most days. But of course, that's misinformation. They're lying as well, aren't they? Yes, they must be about their own cars. Or even just scroll down the feed and you'll find blokes that own e-trons on my page saying exactly the same thing. But are they lying as well? Oh, you just don't do your research. The problem is, you know, the motoring journalists that do their research, they understand. You don't know. The motoring journalists that are flown out to the Nürburgring by Audi, put up in a 5-star hotel, given countless gifts, showered like superstars, treated like Enzo Ferrari when they get to the track, and then given a brand new car to ride round in, and then sent home first class. Yeah, I'd write a shit review too if I was them. It's called biting the hand that feeds you or something, isn't it? So, unfortunately, reality don't work like that. That's not my fault. I mean, who would have thought that a car company would lie about how far their cars can drive? It's not like it's happened before, even with those nasty diesels that Volkswagen Audi group. Oh, they've been sued, have they? Oh, sorry, they've been sued for saying that they did more miles to the gallon than they thought. What, so they did that with petrol and diesel, but they won't do that with EVs because that'll be misinformation. And we can't have misinformation, can we? Oh, no, 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 no. Which brings me on to my third bloke. You notice I haven't named these blokes. I'll take it from Margaret Thatcher, who said, do not give these people the oxygen of publicity. Hey, bit of Thatcher there for you as well. And he said, one of my favourite insults ever. Tony is a liar. He doesn't drive EVs. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's all about YouTube views. I think I've had about 12. And his continued use of the word arse speaks volumes about his education. Mega. Have that. That's my favourite. I don't drive EVs. Now, I'm just a weird bloke who manages to travel the country, constantly popping up at different EV charging points with different EVs, but I've never driven one. Well, I've worked it out. I have driven an EV by every electric car manufacturer, with the exception of Porsche and Polestar in this country. So I don't know how many more you want me to drive, but I've driven more than you. And I could say that about pretty much everybody watching this video. So I do, but, you know, you say I don't, so therefore I don't. Because you too use the word misinformation, sir. At that point, lost the argument. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a qualified motoring journalist. And the fuck do you get a qualification in being a motoring journalist? Sure, you just pick up a pen and drive cars, don't you? Well, there you go. So I'm qualified. Excellent. I must ask Jeremy Clarkson next time I see him what qualifications he's got. Oh, that's right. He hasn't got any, has he? He posts about it every year at A-level day. So if the world's most famous motoring journalist doesn't have any qualifications, but is a motoring journalist, then I at least have the same qualifications as him, which makes me a motoring journalist. So therefore, I must know what I'm talking about because I'm qualified. Right, that's covered that. It's all about YouTube views. It's really not, mate. It's really not. My YouTube channel is woeful. 546 subscribers. So it's not about the YouTube views. Facebook, however, 22,500 subscribers. A reach in November of 4 million people. So, yeah, it could be about the Facebook views. But it's not my fault I'm popular, is it, my friend? And as for the continued worse use of the word arse, which speaks volumes about my education, I'm sorry, I never attended public school. I did go to a comprehensive. I did get some GCSEs. I never went to college, and I never went to university until I was 34. But, you know, I do have a photo somewhere in the house of me with a scroll and a gown and a cap where I got dressed up in fancy dress and went through a cathedral and picked something up. And but no, you're right, because anybody that uses bad language or even the word arse clearly has a lack of education. Well, I've sworn several times in this video already, so I must be thick as pig shit, but not as thick as a bloke who buys a milk float. So there you go. Future my arse. Happy Christmas, everyone.